back?
Yeah, let me try and get this laptop working, which was
real quick.
so not happening earlier this week. Thank God Destiny came out, because I have not been able to get on WoW at all.
Mm-hmm. So we're just giving Nick a second to catch up and get set.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I mean, we can...
Yeah.
I'm just plugging shit in and getting on Roll20, so we can do our recap.
Alright. So...
Oh my god.
Last week, in the intrepid adventuring group known as Ordos Custoles continued their trek through the city of Plona. They spent a good portion of the time looking around and trying to make contact with making contact with some of the I can't think tonight. With one of the Voxeriths who currently is residing, or who they believe is currently residing within Plona itself, in an attempt to gain entrance and to gain passage to the Master Lord's meeting. The main governmental force within the city of Plona. Very little is known about who they are. Their identities are kept a closely guarded secret, but the group themselves are aware of 4 of them. Upon discovering that one of them was Dranbriar Voxerith, and getting a note from their feline friend named Felix, the secret keeper of the main city of Eros,
who, God bless him, loves to tell us his secrets.
He's so good. He loves telling you his secrets.
Not very good at the keeping, but it works to our advantage.
Apparently, he believes you needed to know it. Was able to inform you that there were at least one of the children. No, he just told you that there was a proxy that was left in Plona on Dranbriar's behalf. After debating on what to do, whether to go into the actual prison itself, the Blackstone Spire, or Nightstone Spire, the group eventually decided to go look for this proxy. They found a property that apparently belongs to the Voxeriths. No one was there. Upon entering, they found a note that said, "Meet me at the Sunset Ribbon," and it was signed W.T. is what it was signed. Karma assumes and guesses that the W.T. is an individual known as Weave a Thorn, another Master Lord that was that he is aware of. During all of that, and after 2 natural 20 investigation checks by your DM in quick succession, the group was able to continue on their way back toward Providence Square, which is where the Sunset Ribbon is is located. Emerald, our super overly cautious but yet very fierce druid transformed back into a cat and made her way back to the Brass Tiger. On her way back, she saw a small little spark of just almost what appeared golden light, and she attempted to follow it, but was unable to keep up with it in time, and eventually made her way back to the Brass Tiger for hopefully a wonderful, or hopefully an evening worth of rest. While the rest of the group,
is worth noting that is not the first time a member of our party has encountered that phenomenon in this city.
It is not. As they continued on, and as they continue on, the rest of the group makes it to Providence Square, this large opening and square area in front of the main church, or temple of the Celestial Citadel, within this main city. Within this square are 2 very large pillars that looked like they are 2 sides of uh, that look like they are just two sides of the same, very in line with each other, but sticking straight up out of the ground and out of Providence Square. Etched within all of them are these very old arcane runes that even Clarissa, using her comprehend language spells, could not understand or quite make up. It appeared as though this is very, very old magic. So, this is where we start this evening. On this fairly dreary night, a small amount of rain begins to drip down from the sky as you all make your way to Providence Square. The moon itself is obscured by the different clouds that are in the sky passing over. As you all approach Providence, as all of you, except for Mural, approach Providence Square, you make your way coming in from the other side of it, and you look across and you can see a well-lit building with many different ribbons currently hanging down off of it, many different banners of different colors, different colors and different shapes. It's a fairly large building, about 3 or 4 stories from what you can tell. You do see some lights currently lit and currently held on or held within this area. As you begin to make your way across Providence Square, I need everybody to make a perception check. Who is here? So that would be everyone except for Mural. I need everyone to make a perception check, por favor.
Oh, cool.
Oh, God.
It's just a 3. Let me queue up that D100 for
Natural
you.
20. Let's go.
Oh, God. First roll of the night, and we already got shit hit.
26 total.
I mean, I wasn't too bad. Perception? Okay, 14.
Okay.
For Tyrion.
Alright.
For reference. Yes.
Nat 20 for Karma, Tyrion with the 14, Salix with the 5, Clarissa with the 3. Okay, let me try a different one real quick here.
It's been like 3 weeks since I rolled a 20. It's nice.
Alright, so. Alright, so, what, there we go. Okay, so what ends up happening, what ends up happening is, as all of you are walking across Providence Square, you make it past past the Providence Pillars themselves, and almost to and just across the street, and just across the actual street portion that outlines Providence Square itself. You make it to just the other side of the Sunset Ribbon. Before Karma, something catches your eye. Something catches very distinctly your eye. Just kind of off to your left. You glance over, and you see a very faint. And the only reason you can see this, and Tyrion, you catch this like maybe about a second or two afterward. Like Karma's head turns, then Tyrion's head turns, and both of you see this very small, glowing golden, kind of spark light, kind of darting back and forth, and it seems to be moving in a very almost kind of straight line, from what you can tell. But it's kind of it's erratic in behavior. You can't quite. The movement is kind of it darts forward and then it'll dart off to the side, but still continue to dart forward and then dart off to another side, or dart up and then dart down. Still moving forward. Just very your eyes have to take very almost. It's very hard to catch just with your eyes. But you guys, both of you, managed to see it. It seems to be making its way in the direction of Providence Pillars. It takes less than 5 seconds for it to cross from where it seemed to exit, and to where it gets to Providence Pillars before it darts between the pillars, and you lose complete sight of it at that point. At which point, as that finishes up and happens, Clarissa, currently walking alongside you, all of a sudden, her hands seem to start to glow, and as they do, she kind of looks down at them and is like, what the, and then just sprouting all out from every single fingertip is just a different color of light. It seems to be red, blue, green, yellow, purple, different stuff, like different colors, just all spewing out of her different fingertips. Just kind of, and then, but they cascade, but they don't like go straight. They kind of like go straight and then cascade down onto the ground, creating in this rain a very nice rainbow. It's kind of weird to see. You're not really sure why that's happening.
I definitely am meaning to do this. This is definitely intentional and in no way out of my control.
So, what are you trying to accomplish?
That is for me to know, and you do not find out.
What time of day is it right now, DM?
It is 3 a.m. in the morning.
So, this is like a floodlight going on.
This is like a huge floodlight going off at this point, yeah.
A rainbow floodlight.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I have an idea. Is there like so we're in like this square, right? Do the buildings like have windows that we can see?
Oh yeah. Oh, plenty of them.
She's gonna wave her hands around and like direct the light into as many windows as possible.
I'm gonna get the fuck out of Dodge.
Okay, Karma darts out into the nard, and Clarissa, as you begin to point your fingers at the different windows. Make sure I don't fuck this up. I need the D10. Actually, it won't even matter. Okay, so as you begin to point your fingers at the different windows, you see the lights kind of just shine into them before, and the light kind of hits it. Actually, no, it doesn't, because it's just kind of cascading out of your fingertips and then going down into this less than maybe 3 feet in front of you. It's like kind of just cascading into this rainbow. So as you try to point it towards the windows, the light goes out your fingers and then right down onto the ground is what actually ends up happening.
Well, I meant for that to happen. I was just trying to startle you. Are you startled?
Not startled, but very amused, little gnome. The strangest things seem to happen around you.
Well, I was thinking if we could attract a crowd of people, I could try to give some spiel about how this is a sign from the celestial powers, and look, many colors for many gods. Don't do the execution here tomorrow.
Is there anyone around?
Or something like that.
3 in the morning?
Looking around, you do see two guards that are currently posted outside of the sunset ribbon at the front doors. They just kind of be looking at you. They're kind of looking at you and just be like, "What the fuck is happening?"
First, you're going to attract a crowd in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I suppose not. Well, don't worry. This thing I'm definitely doing on purpose. I'm sure will stop on its own eventually.
Do you definitely want to try it again on purpose tomorrow when there's more people here?
Sure. Yeah, we can definitely do that.
On purpose?
Yeah, definitely totally in control of the situation.
Alright, so I take it, eventually all make your way to the front doors of the sunset ribbon.
Quick question, Nathan, before I walk through the door. Do I recognize that light as the same type of light that I saw I think it would be, what, 2 nights ago at this
It
point?
looks very similar. Yes.
Or that was last night.
It
Okay.
looks
About
pretty-
how far away was it from us when I lost sight of it?
It was back your head turned and you had to follow it back to Providence Pillars. So probably 50 yards, 50, 60 yards probably. So whatever that
Okay.
equals out in feet.
All right, guys, you can hold up here or you can go in if you like, but I want to
I was about to say,
look into
Karma
something very quickly.
Karma saw the same thing.
Yeah, and booked out of it. So I'm gonna head over to the area where it disappeared and look around.
Tyrion, what are you doing?
I'll go with
What are you
you.
doing? I'm going to check out this that light, that orb of light I told you guys about. I think I saw one again. Yeah, yesterday. I think I saw one, and it disappeared over here. I just caught a glimpse. But I trust my vision, so I want to check this out real quick.
I'll come with you.
Okay.
Is everyone following? I take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am.
Okay. All right. So Karma kind of reappears after
Yeah.
that. Clarissa,
Where did you go?
Clarissa
I
still
don't really want to get in jail tonight. That wouldn't be fun.
Clarissa still spewing out rainbows out of her fingertips. You all make your way back towards the center of the very center, pretty much very much the very main center of the square. You all, in the night and in the rain, it's hard to see the tops of the Providence pillars, but once again, standing before you are these two very large pillars, probably good. I think I've said like 40, 50 feet up is where they kind of cut off at that top point. They're tall. They're still the same thing as when you originally walked past them. Those arcane runes still spiraling all around them. You can't really see the tops in this nighttime weather, especially with the rain. But as you walk over, you look around and you don't see anything that looks like an orb. You don't see anything that looks like this same light or spark that you originally saw. But
Where did it go, Tyrion? Tyrion?
Oh, sorry. I'm not sure. But the last one I saw disappeared very quickly as well. Perhaps not something we should be worried about at this moment. I just thought it warranted further investigation. Let's head back.
Are you sure you
Tyrion?
didn't just see this?
Tyrion and Karma, both of you make history checks.
Natural 20!
Natural 3.
Yeah! Law of averages in play.
All right.
So that's a total of 4. So
Okay, cool.
just in case that
Cool.
means anything.
Good. Okay.
Here's the cutoff there.
So Karma, you're just too busy with just once again kind of being inspired and in awe of these pillars. Like your brain's kind of not anywhere in like even thinking remotely about what this thing was. You're just like, okay, that was a spark of light, cool, whatever. Tyrion, this reminds you very, very much, and it seems very similar to the lights that you saw when the children's bodies were burned at the Shala Asari library. These
Oh.
That was a long time ago. Okay.
it has a very, very similar. From what you remember, the light seems very similar.
This light is somewhat familiar, and it's very disconcerting.
What does it remind you of?
It reminds me of, well, our time at the library.
We
What do you-
visited a lot of libraries recently.
That's an excellent point, Clarissa. I mean, the Shala Asari library,
Oh, right.
where we saw the Children burned.
Well, you could have said something more cheerful, like where we saved Brea, and not go straight to burning children.
Well, I didn't see the light when we saved Brea. It was, well, not a pleasant memory. But that,
What do you think it means, though? I don't see any children on fire.
No, but it could be a connection. But there is nothing here. Whatever was here is past. Just going forward. Clearly these lights, this is the second time that I've seen one appear in this city. And we certainly know that,
So,
our enemy at the time was involved in some not so pleasant rituals.
this might be some relevant information. This
Okay.
is not the first time I've seen pillars like these before. And I can tell you, right now, since we're short on time, I can tell you that these are very powerful old magics that involve transitioning between different planes, I think. Clarissa probably understands this the best.
Yeah.
There's different
yeah.
planes of existence. There's elemental planes and spiritual planes, and and you can walk through them and all sorts of different things. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that these pillars have something to do with that. And later, when we have more time, I can tell you all about it, and I'm sure Clarissa will find all the juicy details quite thrilling. Is it possible that these lights that we see flying around, I mean, we've seen these before, related to souls leaving bodies. Is this related to souls being harvested by grisly murders?
It's very possible,
It could be.
but I don't think we can draw a conclusion either way.
You don't think
Well,
We can't seem to
right now, do you?
go 10 feet in this city without finding some new mystery.
Well, I can pull myself into the ethereal plane, but a gate like this would allow a more permanent transition, or even to bring a mass group such as, I don't know, an army through. But perhaps these lights are echoes or winks from another plane. It would make some sense.
Like, and we don't see. There's nothing around out of the ordinary.
Nope.
Okay.
Look around, it seems just like another dreary night. I mean, no one else is walking around at this point. There's
Sure.
2 guards. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. A lot of people are asleep
Right.
at this point.
Okay.
Well, we can definitely look into that more later, but I think for now we better get back to what we were doing here.
I agree. I don't think there's much headway we can make unless we see this phenomena again.
All right. So, where are you guys going?
What's it called?
Sunset Ribbon?
Yeah.
Alright, so you make your way over towards the Sunset Ribbon. The 2 guards who are standing at the entrance give you a very quizzical look as you enter, but they do not make notes, or they do not make they don't make any force of aggression against you at this point. As you enter, you see a very lavish and beautiful room. Bright chandelier hanging from the center of it. Arching ceiling that seems to go up that actually seems to go up all 4 stories. A very beautiful lobby area. As you look up, you see different railings that denote the different stories and levels of this place. At the back, there's actually a large grand staircase that leads up to the 2nd level, and then you can even see that staircase continue all the way up to the 3rd and even the 4th level after that point. Set within that within the grand double staircase, on this 1st floor, you can see a small fountain that seems to be just kind of producing water and just has a very, very simple set of flowers set on a small pedestal in the middle of it. There's a desk off to your right-hand side. Off to your left-hand side, you see a few hallways that lead down. And once again, you see at the front of these different hallways, you see two guards or guards like kind of walking back and forth, down, up and down, at least on this main floor area.
This is a
as
place
you-
of business.
What was that?
This is a place of business.
It is a place. You're not sure what it is. You just know it's called the Sunset
No
Ribbon.
questions, exactly.
You have
Guys, I just had an idea. I'm gonna go and kind of whisper this to the group, like get them together. What if this is a hotel, and both we know one masked lord's already here. We know that the proxy of another is here. What if this is where the meeting is going to be held?
If it's a hotel, how do we get in the room?
I don't know. It's just a thought. I mean, but us coming
Well-
here might throw it off. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think we're already here.
If we set the building on fire, everyone will have to run out.
Carissa! My God.
What? Am I still spewing rainbow, by the way?
you're still spewing rainbow.
She's going to raise her hands so the light goes right into Karma's eyes.
Put your hands in your pockets.
It actually goes right into your eyes, and it doesn't hurt or anything. I mean, like, apart from just, like, being blinded for a second, it doesn't really affect you at all. You do see an individual over at the desk, very black, slicked over hair, kind of a greasy kind of look, and he's just kind of looking up at you quizzically and being like, can I help you? Is there something that you need? You know, we don't normally deal with trespassers this late in the evening. If you're looking for a place to sleep, either you can pay or there's other places to stay not here.
Certainly. There's plenty of time for sleep. My companion here is very important and seems to be suffering from a case of radiant hands.
Can't you see? It's horrible.
It's very serious, and we just need a place
Yes,
keep her for the
would
moment.
Probably want a doctor at that point, or a magical practitioner.
No. I just need a comfortable bed to sleep it off in. And this is a place where one might find a comfortable bed for
Yes,
a sack
quite-
of gold, correct?
200 gold per night. Yes.
Yeah, well, let's see. How comfortable are the beds?
We've been praised from high lords and ladies, all throughout the places of here in Zebros, and even across Serene for having just a very fine establishment and a very wonderful place to bed for the evening.
High lords and ladies. What manner of high lords and ladies stay here? Don't you know who I am?
I unfortunately have no clue who you are.
I am Clarissa the Magnificent, the most powerful sorceress on this side of the continent, and I will not stay at an establishment that is not frequented by the most esteemed nobility of this city. If you want my gold, you're going to have to prove to me that there are people here right now important enough to warrant my coin. Trying to look as dignified as possible while spewing rainbows out of her hands.
Make a deception check.
Don't worry, I am good at this.
She does kind of have an entourage with her.
Please let this work.
Oh my.
Alright, so that would be 18. Thank you for very high modifiers.
That's exactly what I think every time I have to roll deception.
Well, I can't tell you who's here. That goes against our confidentiality agreement that we have between us and our patrons. I can tell you that the King of Serene himself has slept here in the past. Whenever he comes to visit Plona, it's not often, but he has praised our fine establishment. You can see him kind of scrambling for other people that might
about-
have slept here.
Has a dwarf named Nathan Fillion ever slept here before?
A dwarf named Filion. And he's just like,
He's pretty famous.
It's not a name I recognize, unfortunately, but I don't know of any Nathan Fillion to have ever set foot, at least in this establishment.
Well, Your Magnificence, do you think this is good enough for you?
I don't know. This fellow here, he seems like kind of a shifty character. I mean, he can't even tell me anybody important who's staying here right now.
I'm not
Tyrion,
allowed to. Am I supposed to tell? Am I supposed to just give willy-nilly the information of all of our patrons who
Tyrion,
come and
what
reside
would-
here?
What was Clarissa's gonna pick her gold pouch up at this point and just kind of rustle it to like jingle the gold around, and turn to Tyrion and say, "Tyrion, what was the name of that other place we saw? Perhaps they might be more willing to take this gold for my small request than this scallywag here."
You're more than willing to go take another place of lodging. I'm not allowed to give out confidential information to people who just come in and ask. For all I
What
know,
if
you
you
might be
just told-
assassins.
What if you just told me the title of somebody who's staying here? That might be sufficient enough to
Lord,
to
Lady,
reassure me.
King, Duke. We have all of them that stay here.
They're all here right now?
They stay here,
At this
yes, that's what
moment?
you... No!
Oh, well,
No.
in that case, that sounds much less impressive then, doesn't it?
It does indeed, but
If you're
Well-
looking for a place of lodging, there's plenty of other places out there. Especially
Look,
for one
there's,
so
we can,
magnificent.
Now
at the
he's trying to
very
turn
least,
us
you should
away.
let us inspect this so-called lodging before we part with our gold.
Yes, I have to test the softness of the bed. It is
It
critical.
is of the utmost
Make a
importance.
persuasion check.
Who? Tyrion or me?
Tyrion.
Can we assist in any way?
Natural 1. Yeah.
He just kind of looks at you and says,
God.
he just kind of looks at you and just with a very quizzical look and is like, I'm not letting you into the rooms. That's not how this works. You pay
Fine.
us gold, we give you the room. That's
Fine,
exactly
fine.
how this works.
Fine.
If you don't like it,
Clarissa will
take it up with society. Don't take it up with me. I'm just trying
Clarissa
to...
will storm up to the desk and angrily count out 200 gold and shove it in his general direction and say, "Come on, room, now."
All right, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure dealing with me. And you see him take, he kind of scoops the gold over the counter and puts it behind, back behind. And he says, "And that'll be one room, I take it."
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
And-
one room.
He pulls out a room. He pulls out a room number. It says 236, and he passes it to you and says, "Here you are, your magnificence. Enjoy your stay."
Why, thank you. Now go and polish something. Looks rather dusty in here. And she's going to cast Prestidigitation to make a corner of his desk extremely dusty.
All right. You see just this irked look come across his face, just like. But then it's just quickly replaced by a smile and says, "Enjoy your evening." Which point you guys all begin making your way upstairs to the second floor. You find your room. The room number that you were assigned. You open up the door, and it is actually a very, very... It's not just one room. It is a collection of 4 different rooms that are all interconnected. It looks almost like an apartment to an extent. There's a full-blown kitchen. There's a full-blown kitchen that is fully stocked. There is no less than 2 king-size beds in two of the rooms, and a very, very nice lounging and sitting area with some very beautiful couches and seating arrangements. Very beautiful wooden tables. There's very beautiful, very large mirrors and very beautiful paintings that seem all very well. Granted, none of you are purveyors of art or anything, but like you're impressed with them. They're very nice. Each of the rooms has like torch sconces that are placed in them, and all of them seem to have this same magical like torch sconce that is set within them, giving illumination to the room or the rooms that are around you. As you check out and look in the bathroom, it's like the bathtub's basically basically is like just a large, almost like kind of large divot in the floor, with small little holes that kind of poke out, or that seem to be like imprinted into the actual like divot in it. It's very, very, it's very pristine and very lavished from what you can tell.
Well, come on, in, close the door.
Whoa.
I suppose you'll be wanting to do the thing, and she like tries to indicate silence with her hands in Salix's general direction.
I suppose I can. Should I do the thing?
I don't think we need to do the thing.
Okay.
Well, I got us in. I'll be requesting reimbursement. I'll be submitting a reimbursement request for that amount of gold, by the way, from the rest of you lot.
I have a form that you need to fill out.
That's fine. I love paperwork.
Yeah, sure you do. Very possible.
All right, well, I got us in, so what now? Maybe Karma and Ryven can slip out, sneak around, see if we can find this meeting. That's definitely not happening here.
Karma,
Yeah.
do you think you can get your hands on the guest book?
DM, what did the security look like downstairs? I mean, was it just the innkeeper, or was there anybody else?
No, it was the innkeeper, and then there was about 4 or 5 other guards currently walking around the downstairs area.
It looked pretty heavily guarded. I can see what I can do. I could use some type of a distraction if only we had something like that. And I look at Clarissa.
You see her fingertips have stopped glowing.
I am vague. I do not need glowy hands to be distracted. I could always barge down there and find something to complain about, make a part of the room dirty, and then complain, and make a scene about it.
Can you make a scene in not that room?
Yeah, Wes. Oh. Yeah, sure. I mean, I could probably make a loud enough scene to draw off at least a couple of the guards and the useless desk worker. That being said, however, I am open to other ideas here. I mean, maybe we don't want to draw attention to ourselves.
I say we...
Hey,
You were
Red.
I did not mean to cut you off.
You were saying something, Tyrion, I believe.
I say we take a look around.
Wandering the halls at night.
Look, we're wandering in the halls at night to make sure the place is secure for her magnificence.
Sure.
Yep. And if it would make you feel better, I could write each of you a small note dictating my instructions to you, so if you're questioned by anybody, you have written proof that an eminent guest of this hotel is ordering you about. She looks somewhat smug as she says that.
Let's not get too full of ourselves there, little gnome. I think we're already in. I don't think we'll have too much trouble.
Ryven, you can get around in the dark very quickly.
Very quickly.
Can you make some noise like in a side alley?
How does minor illusion work? Can I use it to make noise loud enough that would theoretically make people... I don't use the spell a whole lot.
I'm not sure. I don't think you can. I think it's just minor illusion. You can create sound.
I can't create sounds?
You can create sound or an image of an object within range that lasts for the duration of 1 minute. The illusion also ends if you dismiss an action or cast a spell. Its volume can range from a whisper to a loud scream. It can be your voice, it can be someone else's voice, it can be a lion roar, it can be drum beating sounds, pretty much any sound you really want. The sound continues unabated through the duration of the spell. So you can use that if you feel very compelled to create sound.
Is there a window nearby that I can use to hop
Yes,
out, hop back in?
You look around. Yeah, there's plenty. Yeah, there's like 4 windows in the place that you're currently staying in. You look about. The window is it's about a story up.
Is that within 60 feet?
Yeah, easily within 60
Okay, that's the important thing here.
feet. Okay.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, I can do that. I got some ideas. As long as he's down that door down, stays a
All right.
bit not bright light.
Okay. So you see Ryven walk over to a window, kind of open it up, and get ready to hop out.
I'm gonna start making my way, like to the. Okay. Also on the first floor, was there like a bar or like a social area, anything like that?
Nothing from what you can see. It was kind of just a lobby area, but there were halls that led farther back, so it's very possible there was a bar in there. You do notice as you're looking around the room, there is a full bar. Like there's like a good sized full bar in each of the rooms. Like it's part of the kitchen area. Like it's fully stocked as well. So
All right. Well, Tyrion, do you think we should go and take a look for Her Magnificence? Maybe scout
agree.
out the area.
Yeah, Ryven, before you do anything, just give us a couple minutes to get downstairs, and then
Okay.
we'll improvise from there. And we're looking for the guest book. How do we even know there's a guest book? We didn't have to sign a guest book. We didn't have to sign a guest book,
Yeah,
did
did
we?
we
You
sign a
just
guest
you
book?
did
brought
not
us to the
sign
room.
a guest book.
Did we see the guy write anything down when he gave us the key?
Make a history check.
All of us, or just him?
Just or just,
Yeah, just
Sales.
whoever asked is probably.
Just Sales, yeah.
That's a 15.
You did see him scribble something down as you were walking away. Whether or not it was a guess, but whether or not it was anything important, you're not sure. But you did see him scribble something down as you were walking away, and he was giving you guys like the giantest of stink eyes ever. So, Tyrion and Karma make your way downstairs. Is that correct?
Correct, sir.
All right. So Tyrion and Karma make their way downstairs. Ryven
Do I
out the
see them
window.
leave?
Yeah, you see them leave.
Alright, I'm gonna bamf down.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion.
Okay.
Wait, where am I?
You're currently in an alleyway. It is currently in an alleyway. It is looking
It's an
back. You can see Providence Square from where you're standing at the moment in time.
I'm just
and
making
look-
sure I didn't fall out a window into the front step. That's
Nah.
okay.
Nah.
'Cause that's very possible.
Nah.
So I don't see anybody around me.
No one around you. No.
All right,
It's
I'm
four.
gonna-
It's approaching 4:00 in the morning at this point. Like it's like you're starting to
Guards
see
on
like.
patrol. There's been a bunch of murders in this city.
I mean, you're starting to see like the sun. Like you're starting to see like little specks of light coming over the horizon. From what you can tell, but that's about all it.
I am going to make casting Minor Illusion the most
Okay.
horrific, blood-curdling scream of a woman as I can ever possibly make with it.
Okay. Are you doing that right
And
now,
so
or are
this
you
is
waiting for a second? Waiting for a few
Well, I
minutes.
waited a second before I dropped down.
Okay.
So I counted to
Alright.
100 and then dropped down.
Okay, I gotcha. All right. So you wait a minute or two. You wait for what you think is an adequate amount of time for Tyrion and Karma to make their way downstairs. You cast Minor Illusion. There's this loud, piercing scream, like this, almost a very shrill womanly scream that just happens like directly in front of you. Your ears, you even have to like kind of plug them just because it's so loud for you.
And I'm going to bamf up to the window.
And then right up to the top. So Tyrion and Karma, but while
Close
that, so Tyrion and Karma, as you guys eventually make your way downstairs, back towards the lobby, you are making your way, just kind of like walking down the stairs. As you do, you hear this blood-curdling scream that just sounds like, literally sounds like somebody's getting murdered. Like it's not pleasant to hear. As like it even catches you guys off guard. You guys are kind of like at the At this point, you are at the little fountain that's like kind of on the first landing, like up that's going up the grand staircase. As the screen goes off, you see everyone in the lobby, the guards. You see the main desk keepers. All faces kind of turn towards the direction of the sound, so they all turn kind of forward and then like to the front doors.
I'm gonna use thaumaturgy to make like the sound of a cawing raven just outside of the door.
Okay, you watch as two guards run past the front door. The two guards you probably were watching that probably saw when you entered. You see the about 4 or 5 other guards within the lobby area itself. Kind of look over at the desk keeper. He gives a slight nod, and all of them kind of go walking towards the front door as your raven caw goes off. I can't make raven sounds.
Close enough.
That works. Nevermore.
Anyways, so all of them kind of look like open the door, look slightly confused as they hear the raven sound. They look over, they glance around. They continue walking. They continue walking outside. The desk keeper himself moves farther down the desk towards towards a window that you see that's looking out the front door. Or looking out the front entrance of the Sunset, and he kind of like was looking out at it kind of questioningly at this point.
So I'm not in his line of sight at this point, then?
Currently he's looking out the front window at this point. You're probably about 15, 20 feet away from the desk itself.
Okay, I'd like to quickly make my way up to the desk.
Okay.
And just like look and see if I see anything, and if I see anything, I want to try and kind of sleight of hand it.
Okay, as you glance around, as you make your way quickly up there, you glance behind the desk, and you're making to pay very close attention that he is like where he's still at. He's still looking out the front window at this point.
Well, while Karma's moving to the desk, I'm going to try and also go towards the window, like I'm investigating, and attempt to, as best I can, further block his line of sight.
Okay, cool. So Tyrion and Karma, you make your way up towards the desk person, and kind of looking around. He looks over at you and says, "What did you think that was?" Because at this point, the screaming is still going on. It's still very loud. Right. Karma, you do see a book, and you manage to quickly grab it, very quickly. Manage to kind of shove it into the folds of your cloak and put it away.
Okay. At that point, I'm gonna look outside the window, and do you think that was the butcher?
If it is, they haven't been attacking anywhere close to here. I've heard of. I think the closest one was about 4 or 5 streets over from us, but nothing as in particular itself. At this point, the screaming has stopped and ceased. And you do see a few of the guards start to walk back this way, but they don't seem to be walking back in. They seem to just be walking back this way. As you are still kind of looking and chatting with the desk keep, you can see glancing up and about the balconies. You do see a bunch of individuals who are currently wearing nightgowns and different kind of like clothing for sleeping. Kind of just like gathered around the banisters, and it goes up all the way to the 4th floor. You see individuals who are like men, women, elves, humans, dwarves, a few half elves here and there.
Do I recognize Weeva Thorn?
Make a perception check.
We just have like a general description
16.
of her, right? We don't.
I've seen
Karma's
Karma's seen her. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You see her. She's up on the 3rd floor, from what you can tell. She looks a little disheveled. Her hair is kind of is placed singularly in a single ponytail that's kind of currently resting down across her as her hair kind of cascades down around or down like the left side of her body.
Is there anyone like in her general, like right next to her, like maybe she?
There is one individual who is currently standing right next to her. Another woman with chestnut brown hair, from what you can see. very curly, chestnut brown hair, has very, very emerald green eyes. Currently wearing
Ooh
a
la
bathrobe.
la.
Currently wearing a bathrobe.
Human, I take it.
Human. Yep, human. Yeah. And you hear somebody shout and say, "Is everything all right down there, Patrick?" And the individual standing next to you says, "Yes, everything's fine. The guards are looking into it. Everyone should go back to bed. Everything is okay. Nothing else is going to be the matter this evening." It's like, and you just kind of hear and start seeing the general murmur of people walking back off to bed. At this point, you see,
Yeah, same.
you do notice Weeva and the chestnut, the brown-haired individual walk, begin to kind of give a quizzical look, but then begin to chat with each other and seem to be walking away from the balcony area.
Okay. At this point, I'll just start making my way back towards the room that we rented.
All right.
With Tyrion, I would assume.
Okay. You and Tyrion make your way back.
Yep.
You and Tyrion make your way back. As you're walking up the stairs and walking back towards your room, you do see the individual at the desk, kind of looking, kind of walking around, and continuing to tussle about his business. And you do see him kind of start kind of looking around the desk a little bit, but kind of quizzically and just being like, "Where the?" And before he's out of your sight, you eventually make your way back to the room with the book in hand.
All right, so close the door.
Okay.
First of all, I'm going to get the book out and kind of hand it to Tyrion and look out the window then and be like, look for Riven, be like, "Hey, come on back up."
You don't even have to
Alright,
look
yeah.
out the window. He's
Hello.
like as you open up the window and start saying, "Riven, psst, Riven," you just hear a voice over your shoulder saying, "What?"
Oh,
And you glance around and your
Wait,
horn,
wait.
your horns your horns, which have been growing at this point, kind of hit the window still, or hit the siding of the window, leaving a slight gouge in them. As you see Riven just kind of standing at the bar with a single drink in his hand, just arms folded, and just being like, "What?"
good job, buddy. All right, so what does that
Close the
book
window.
say, Tyrion?
The book says. ... Opens book, reads book.
As you open the book, you see names on names on names on names on. You see many names. Many are very foreign to you. You do recognize the name of an individual. Seems as this seems to go. This book seems to go back at least a month, from what you can
Okay.
tell. You see individuals. You find there's different sections of the book. One section is for guests who have just recently checked in, and so it seem to be 1 or 2 night stay people, nothing in crazy. You see there's another section of the book that seems to have either people who have permanent residence or seem to have a very very or seem to have a very extended stay portion. You take a few minutes. You flip through the book. You do eventually you do recognize a few names of high-ranking members from Serene that seem to have rooms here on reserve if they are ever in this area. You do recognize. Carmen tells you the name that you're looking for, and you find the name Weeva Thorn in there under one
Yeah,
of the areas.
didn't we already know who we're looking for?
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
find-
recognize
yeah.
her, but
No, you do find the name. You find the name. You find the room number that she's in, and you find that she has one of the rooms that is that is not on constant reserve, but it's kind of more of a residential
Right.
room. It's 300. You find the number of 346 is what you find.
346. I relay this information to the group. So you said there's different sections. Okay, can I flip back a few? I guess it would be what? How long has Skittles been in prison?
He's
It's
been,
a week
from what you
now?
can tell, it's probably been about a
General time frame.
It's been a few months, from what you remember when Felix told you that he lost contact with him.
Okay.
So you can check those months if you want to.
Yeah, sure. That's what I'm looking to do. Check
Okay.
to see if there's any names I recognize or anything that might provide any clue as to what's going on with our buddy Skittles.
You don't find any names. You don't find a name. You don't find Salgent. You don't find any names that really seem to quite ring to you.
Gotcha.
At all.
Any Voxerith names?
You do find Voxerith. Yeah, that's not hard. That's also in the kind of not the residential, but on the reserve
Room on
area.
retainer type list.
Right, exactly. You do find Dranbriar Voxerith, and it's
Gotcha.
not even just like Dranbriar. It's like Dranbriar, and it's like this entire family has access to the room if need be, from what you can tell.
What room is that one?
That room is 478.
478, and the other was 346.
Yes.
Okay, well, I will relay this information to the group.
All right.
Now, the other
Guys,
two masked
that
lords.
information has been relayed.
Anything by the name of Asher?
It takes you a while. Like, how long are you spending on this? Are you just spending a few minutes, or are you wanting to spend some time?
I was just sort of glancing through at that particular time frame.
I'm going to ask Karma on
okay.
this one.
Fine,
How long do you want
I've
to
now
spend with this
handed
one?
the book back to Karma, because I've found everything. I found
I'm
everything I want to know.
I'm going to take a good bit, like a good
Okay.
5 minutes, I'd say.
You do not see a name named Asher in here at all. There is no individual named Asher, from what you can tell. The other one was Alina. Is that correct?
I actually only have 3 written down for some reason.
The third one, or the fourth and final one, the name was Elena, I believe. Double check.
No, okay, anything by that name? I'll spend another 5 minutes on that.
And you do not, unfortunately.
Okay. Alright, so we have 2 of the 4. Alright, so... is there like a fireplace or anything in there?
Oh, sorry, not Elena. It's Alathana. Alathana. Sorry.
Alathana.
Alythana. Alathana.
Alythana?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Alathian. Alathana? I don't know. One of those two.
Alathana, I don't, yeah. Anyway,
Anyways,
so
no.
is there like a fireplace in the room or something like that?
Unfortunately, there's no fireplace, no.
And actually, Amiral has the bag of holding, right?
Yeah, she does.
I don't.
Or
actually.
didn't she
Salix
give... No,
has it.
she gave that to Salix, yeah.
Salix has it.
All right, so Salix,
no.
let's store this in the bag then, because unless they know exactly what they're looking for, I mean, they wouldn't be able to find it. So here, bag of holding.
Okay.
I put it in the bag of holding.
All right, you do.
Well,
That's fine.
so we know that there is important people here tonight. How do we use this information?
Follow them from their rooms to the meeting place.
I was just going to suggest that plan.
We know
That does seem to be our best plan. Obviously, we can't all follow, but we can use our earrings to keep in touch.
Precisely.
All right.
Okay.
Does anyone in the group want to do anything before that?
Sleep.
Yes, let's try and
Okay,
get a little
well.
bit of sleep at least while we're here. Is there like a couch in the room? What are we looking for as far as actual sleeping spaces?
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4. There's like 3 or 4 couches. There's like 2 very large beds that you can find like that.
So
are
there's
enough
enough room for all of us to.
Oh, there's a ton of. Oh yeah,
hours.
there's enough room for you to get enough sleep. It depending on if you want to do. If you want to do an 8-hour block, that's going to be pushing
Noon.
your.
Yeah,
I was
it's
just gonna say.
pushing around noon. It depends on how long you want to sleep for.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Kieran, why don't you get your 4 hours in? Then, if you want to go, keep an eye out for them. Specifically, I'm gonna describe Weeva Thorn.
Mhm.
Describe.
Oh, that woman that was up on the balcony.
Yes, exactly.
You pointed both of them out as you were walking back up the stairs.
Oh,
Like,
that woman you pointed out to me previously.
You
but
got,
I'm
you
just
got
now
a good.
remembering.
You got a good look.
Excellent.
You got a good look.
Yes, I know, and I know who I'm looking for.
And then, if they get, if you see them start to move, come just Actually, I'm going to hand him my earring because I don't think he has one. I'm going to be like, just message us, try and wake us up as fast as possible so we can get on their tails as well.
Okay.
Okay, who has the other earring?
Clarissa has one, I know, and I believe Salix has
Yep.
one.
Okay.
All right. So,
I attach my new jaunty accessory.
and it just kind of like goes over like the top of your ear and kind of like down the back, like down the back of it. Like you kind of like just, it's like a gold little clip that goes on, like not like just like a very thin clip. It's a large clip that kind of goes over the top of your ear. You have to kind of finagle it because of your pointed ears, but it eventually kind of like sits where you would like it to.
Yeah, those pointy ears always getting in the way. All right, well, I'm just going to find a good spot to sit down and
Meditate.
trance
All right,
out.
So,
Before we go to sleep, I'm going to take 200 gold pieces from the bag of holding and give it to Clarissa.
okay, you do as such.
Does
Why, thank you.
I forget? Does Meryl have an ear? Does Meryl have an earring?
Amiro has one. You have a total of 4.
You guys want to try Meryl and see if she can? She's probably asleep still. Maybe just try her in the morning. That'd probably be the best idea. What do you guys?
Well, here I was going to draw myself a nice hot bath. I can do that and then try her. I mean, we have the giant bathtub. We might as well use it.
Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep.
Alright,
You
so
have
Karma goes
fun.
to sleep.
Whatever.
Tyrion zens out. Salix and Ryven. Ryven, you'd also find some place to meditate. I take it as well.
Yeah, it's been a little while since I've done that.
Salix, you find one of the beds, and it's comfy. Like you lay down and you just sink into it. Like it's like laying on a cloud. Like you just like you literally like lay down and you're just like, huh, I could, before you even finish the thought of I could fall asleep, you're out. Like it's so comfy. Like after being travel worn and not necessarily having the best place to sleep for a long time, like this is comfier than the Vox Aerith beds that they had at their house. It's comfy as hell. Clarissa, you eventually you do manage to draw yourself a bath, and as you kind of lower yourself into the bath, you realize that your feet actually don't quite touch the bottom of it, and you kind of have to like tread water / kind of swim around. You do find in there what look like 2 raised little portions of kind of the wooden area around as you're kind of like going around the tub itself. You do find 2 little like kind of like raised, like almost what look like buttons to an extent, that seem to kind of protrude from the wood. Same material as the wood itself, but like they seem to be slightly raised a little bit more.
All right. Well, I will just enjoy this experience of a nice, luxurious bath.
You
And
enjoy.
then
You kind of float around a little bit. It's good.
and towards the end, she'll grab the earring, which I assume she left piled up with her clothes next to the bathtub, and just kind of trigger it and say, "And Meryl."
Emerald. No response, unfortunately. All right.
So, quick question, Nathan.
Yes.
When she does that, can we all hear her with the earring? Like, is it
Everybody
four-way?
hears
Okay,
Everyone
I
hears it.
wasn't sure if that's how those worked.
All of you who have an earring currently like hear this slight little mural voice going on in your half, and most of you recognize that as Clarissa. Clarissa, you eventually find your way to out of the bath and find your way to sleep for a little bit. Tyrion and Ryven, both of you get your 4 hours of meditation in. This takes you to about 8 o'clock in the morning at this point.
So I'm awake as well.
And Amiro, you would be awake as well at this point, still at the Brass Tiger. What are you wanting to do?
Probably make my way back to the last point that I seen my allies.
You eventually start making your way back towards the docks at this point.
Was
Oh,
it
no,
the
you-
docks?
No, it was in one of the alleys. You eventually make your way kind of back towards one of the alleys, and in about like about 30 minutes into your journey, you try contacting them over the earring. They give you directions to the Sunset Ribbon, and you find your way there. As you're walking in, Tyrion and Riven what are you wanting to do at this point? As you have come to consciousness, about 8 o'clock in the morning, the sun has begun to rise over the city. At this point, sunlight is starting to peek in through the windows. What are you two wanting to do?
How far are we from the town square, or where we
It's right
heard that
outside.
he's going to be executed?
You're pretty close. Like,
Isn't it like just on the other side of that square, basically?
you're
You
like
said
right.
it
You're
was
like
only,
you're like pretty much like right on the perimeter of the square at this point. Like, if you look out the window, you see another building. But from where, like, when you jumped out into the alley, as you looked down the alley, you could see that you like literally could just walk to the square and you were there. Like, you're right next to it.
Is there a different clerk at the desk at this point? Since,
Okay, so Tyrion, you
or
make
is
your way
it still
down.
Patrick?
You make your way down, and it's a different clerk at this point. It seems to be a kind of younger gentleman at this point. As you walk down, standing at the desk, you do see an individual with blonde hair standing there, currently talking to the young gentleman at the desk. And you do recognize her as the individual that Carmen described as Weeva Thorn.
Oh, so she's right there. She's talking.
She's right there, just chatting with him.
Okay, I'm gonna casually walk somewhere that would be normal to walk and just sort of whisper into the earring to Salix and Clarissa that she is in fact, and I guess Carmen, you have one as well. So
No, I
let
gave
everyone know.
mine to
Oh, right, you gave it to me. Salix, Clarissa, and Emerald. That's right. All right, I'm just gonna let them know that I see Weeva Thorn down here, and
Who?
As you say that, Emerald walks into the front door in the front door at this point.
Well, why don't you go make casual conversation? You're good at that.
okay, that's a very good point, Clarissa. Before I walk over to the desk, I'm going to go over to Emerald and tell her where our room is, and that if she goes there, that she can get filled in. But now
Alright.
is not the time for me to do that.
Okay. So Tyrion, you eventually make your way over towards the desk.
I'm going to stand, like, a polite distance back and just sort of not eavesdrop, but let them continue speaking. I'm not going to interrupt.
Okay.
And see what I can hear them talking about.
Okay. You hear them talking just kind of in general, just general kind of things, news about the city. You hear them kind of talking about about the butcher, or about like the recent butcher attacks. As they're talking about that, you hear Weeva Thorn say, "Well, I heard that they ended up catching the individual who was responsible for that. Although, if you ask me, and trust me, I understand that you're an individual of very high intelligence at this point." And you see the guy standing there like, yeah. I pride myself on many wonderful aspects. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sure, but if you ask me, I'm not sure they have the right person. I honestly don't." And like the only reason you can hear this is your Helven hearing. You're a little bit more attuned to this stuff, and it's just like you hear her say, "I'm not 100% sure they actually have the right individual, or if they do, and he is actually a part of this, then there might be other conspirators within his group. It's very possible. This is my thought. That's just my thought on all of this. But I mean, if there are, then we have a much bigger and larger issue facing our city at this point, because the murders haven't stopped. They're still continuing on. It means there has to be more than one individual besides the person." This Salgent that they've captured. It just seems like such a horrible time, and you just see the individual saying, just kind of nodding along and just kind of like making other kind of interested, like just kind of continues on the conversation, but that's really all you kind of glean
Okay.
specifically.
Well,
from her.
before they continue on the conversation,
Mhm.
I'm going to walk over and just say, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I didn't mean to eavesdrop. But did you mention murders? Here in Plona?
She looks over at you and says, "Why, yes, Master Elf, I have, and it's very rude to interrupt others' conversation, but Yes, I mean, are you new to town?
Forgive me, my lady. My name is Tieran Froston, and I'm here accompanying my wonderful mistress, Clarissa the Magnificent. And I am in charge of her security, so as soon as I heard mention of murders, my professionalism took over. I did not mean to interrupt. May I request the honor of your name?
She extends her hand and just kind of daintily and says, "Weaver Thorn is my name."
I'm just gonna take it gently and just bow a little bit, respectfully.
Yeah.
You know, playing the part of the manservant.
You do, and she stands there just with a very amused look on her face and says, You are very formal, Master Tyrion, and it is wonderful to make your acquaintance. I've never known an elf to put himself under others or be necessarily in charge of security. Normally they confine themselves to their forests. But no, yes.
Well, I owe my mistress a great debt, and so for the moment, I am taken into her service and sworn to her protection.
Who is your mistress? Have I heard of her before?
She is the great and glorious Clarissa the Magnificent.
You see her eyes kind of narrow, and she says, "Clarissa the Magnificent, I have not heard of this individual before. You will have to introduce me to her. Would you and your mistress care to join me for breakfast this morning?"
We would be honored.
Wonderful. I'll see you down here. I'll see you down in the restaurant in 15 minutes. Sounds like we have much to discuss.
We will meet you there.
Wonderful.
A pleasure meeting you, my lady.
As well, Tyrion. And she gives a slight nod and begins walking away. You do see a chestnut brown-haired individual join her. A few minutes, as she's walking away. Both are clad in very, very beautiful higher-end dresses. Just very, very, very very, very beautiful dresses that seem to accentuate who they are. The colors match. The chestnut brown-haired individual is in a very beautiful green dress, beautiful and also very simple green dress. You see Weaver Thorn also kind of more in this extravagant purple, almost more purpley dress from what you can tell. But they make their way kind of down one of the hallways and seem to be making their way back towards what you would gather would be the restaurant area.
Okay, well, in the meantime, I'm going to go up to the room, obviously.
You make your way up to the room.
Is everyone awake, or is it just me and Ryder at this point, and everyone's sleeping?
Everyone seems to be kind of waking up. They definitely... It appears as though everyone didn't quite get as much sleep as they were wanting or as they were needing, but, I mean, they're awake. They're not as... They're slightly groggy, but they're not... But they are awake.
Well?
Alright. Well. Clearly you're not a morning gnome. We have a meeting with a masked lord.
Oh.
Clarissa, I may have, as you did last night, implied that you are a gnome of high esteem.
Implied? What do you mean implied? Factually stated.
I flat out said it. That is neither here nor there.
Well, regardless, even if it falls through, I am a lady as well, so...
A wanted lady.
A very wanted lady, Emerald, and...
Don't forget, I can always introduce myself as Ray Addict. So.
Isn't that still your name, though?
Not very many people know of that name, though.
Wait a minute. This is coming from the elf who hid inside of a rock wall and is constantly traveling around as a cat for fear of being identified. But at the chance to have a fancy breakfast, she's all over it. I mean, don't get me wrong, breakfast is awesome, but...
Emerald, not to take this the wrong way, but given the current state of your disguise, I don't really believe we could justify your presence at this particular breakfast. However, Salix, you look like the type who might also be tasked with protection, I feel 3 people would not be overstaying our invitation. Though, actually, Clarissa and I were the only ones invited. So, Clarissa, how would you like to play that? You are, after all.
At this
I
point,
think our
Karma goes back into a bedroom and falls back asleep.
Okay.
I think our best bet is to just have the 2 of us go and just have everybody else available in case anything goes tits up. But it shouldn't. I mean, it's only breakfast. How wrong can
It
it
is a
go?
little early in the morning for that little gnome.
Myself and Salix can always sit at another table as well, so.
And listen in the whole time.
All right. So,
Okay.
Well, it's a good thing I took a bath last night. Give me a minute to get myself all fancy.
Does you said there was a bar? Is there any? You said there's a kitchen. Is there any food there?
yeah, there's plenty of food.
Is there
It's
anything that
fully
resembles
stocked.
a fantasy cappuccino, espresso?
Yes, there appears to. There are mugs and and small packets that you see currently set on the actual countertop, from what you can see. You pick one up, you fill it up with water, and it's warm. It's very boil. It's like very hot water, not boiling, but like warm enough that if you picked it up and drank it, it'd be really kind of almost tea warm. You take one of the packets, you drop it in, and as you drop it in, you see all of it kind of just dissolve, and all of a sudden, and then you see it start to bubble, and there is this white foam that kind of seems to kind of appear at the top, and you're now looking down at a mug full of very light, kind of a lighter brown, frothy, foamy concoction, from what you can see.
Is this instant espresso? This is awesome.
You take a sip of it, and it is some of the best damn espresso you've ever tasted. Some of the best coffee espresso you've ever tasted. It's good. You're starting to understand why it costs a lot.
200. I was just gonna say 200 gold a night clearly buys some quality across the board.
I was about to say you're understanding why it costs so much money per night to sleep here. Tyrion, Clarissa, Salix, and Emerald, as you all make your way downstairs to the restaurant.
I'll hang back with Emerald. Let them get a little bit of a head start.
Okay. So, Tyrion and Clarissa, you walk into the restaurant and you see an individual who's currently standing there saying, it's like, oh, and are you here for the morning meal as well? And are you here for the morning meal as well? And before he can even finish really speaking, you manage to see both Weeva Thorn and the chestnut brown-haired woman. Who is also currently sitting with her, and Weeva kind of waves over to her, or waves over to you, Tyrion, and kind of beckons over. You stroll past the individual. You stroll past and over to them. They have 2 seats already prepared for you, and Clarissa. You both sit down. Your orders are taken for food. And once again, you also see kind of sitting in the middle is this little pot, or there's this little pot, or this little kind of teapot, from what you can tell, and a bunch of other the same little packets that Salix used to make the instant espresso. And both of the women rise, and Weeva, as you walk over, once you are all seated, and Weeva looks over at both of you and says, it's wonderful to have some company for this early morn. And all right, and you must be the wonderful Clarissa the Magnificent, is from what I've been told. And you're much shorter than I expected. Although I must say, I must compliment you on your beautiful gown. It's quite lovely. Who made it by chance?
Oh, this old thing I had made up by somebody in the Loudwater region. I'm sure it's nothing to a big city lady such as yourself. And yes, we gnomes are rather short of stature, but tall of mind, I assure you.
The Loudwater area, from the Loudwater area, and she kind of looks over towards the chestnut lady and says, "Don't you have an aunt who lives over there?" and the chestnut haired lady says, "Yes, I do. Lady Moonfire, I believe is who currently lives over there. She has a wonderful house, and must take you to visit her sometime. The countryside is absolutely riveting. Very, very beautiful place. And you are." And she kind of gestures, and Weave of Thorn says, "Oh, this is Clarissa the Magnificent, and this is Tyrion Froston. And both Tyrion and Clarissa, this is This is my compatriot, Alawain Voxereth. Salix and Amiral, you two were able to get a table very close enough that you could listen in. You're about 2 tables away, but enough that you could actually listen into the conversation that is happening currently. Your orders are also taken as well for breakfast. And
like right now, myself and Juxer would be going over like notes and daily planning, and Salix, pardon me. Myself and Salix are just going to go over like notes, daily planning, so on and so forth. Okay. And if anything like it goes south on their end, I'm going to come up and be like, "Oh, so to Clarissa."
Okay, gotcha. All right. So, the conversation continues as such. It says, continue and. Weave of Thorn gets finished introducing Alawain Voxereth to you, Tyrion and Clarissa.
Alawain Voxereth. Voxereth, we actually had some dealings with your aunt, I believe. We helped to defend the town against some nasty gobos and, in fact, investigated a whole complicated series of events that led to the return of her child.
Yes, I had heard that my cousin had been was missing for some time, and but heard that I had heard that a group had returned her to my father. Got that note a few days ago. Are you saying that you are the same group, Ordos Custodes?
That we are.
Interesting. Very interesting. You must regale us with the story of how you were able to find her and everything that happened.
Well, I wouldn't be able to tell it all on my own, so Tyrion, you jump in when you feel is appropriate, and Clarissa will begin a much like the Cliff Notes version of the long, convoluted series of events that led to us returning Elira to her family. Including leaving out the bits about Brea getting sucked into the other dimension, but mentioning her involvement.
Okay. As you mentioned Brea, you see she doesn't offer any kind of reaction or anything. The fact that you know her sister, but she just kind of sits there and nods. Weave of Thorn is just absolutely engrossed in the story. Like it is, like she is just like you see her eyes, like you hear her gasp at the appropriate moments. You hear her like kind of just like exclaim, laugh at the jokes that you tell throughout the entire story. It's a very good story. It's a very good rendition, and she sits there and says, "Well, I must say, your group of adventurers seems quite capable of everything and anything that seems to have come up in your path. What do you think of these murders and these problems that have been currently plaguing our city? You've been here for, you've said, a few days now, and obviously you've had a chance to get to know what our city is about. But what are your thoughts on this place?"
Well, to be frank, Bona seems like a mystery wrapped inside of an enigma, chained up in a mystery box and chucked in the middle of a black ocean. I take it from your laugh that is an accurate description.
That's an accurate description of many of our dealings that we have to deal with here within the city of Plona.
Then it would not surprise you to know that we came here investigating some mysteries of our own.
Oh, and what mysteries are you looking for?
Well, we have reason to believe that not is all as it seems with this butcher.
Really? You don't believe... What is it that you do not believe about the Butcher?
Well, we've
We
heard
don't believe
rumors.
he's been caught, for one thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Caught. And you kind of see her eyes just kind of, like, just expand for a second, and you get the sense she's, like, wanting to, like, take her fingers and just, like, do the air quote thing, but she refrains from doing that, and she says, yes, my fears are that we are dealing with more of an organization than just a single individual, as the murders have not stopped since his capture, and they are continuing to plague our cities, and the civilians themselves are not quite to the point where they are wanting, they are scared, and they are turning towards the Celestial Sanctuary for help and for hope at this point. It's very disconcerting that these murders are continuing to happen.
Clarissa is going to make eye contact with her at this point and then say, I hope nobody innocent pays for the crimes that they didn't commit. Too often in a situation like this, it would be far too easy to blame the wrong person.
Well, that is one thing that we must leave up to the Master Lords themselves. Their counsel and their wisdom is, from what I can tell, so far been accurate, but whether or not they can be convinced that this individual is not operating alone is yet to be seen.
what do you think it would take? I mean, certainly you have law enforcement in this city, it seems. You have at least a few different orders of guards, from what I've noticed, walking around.
Much law enforcement is here within Plona, but they are oftentimes can find individuals, and the fact that they have not been able to find these murderers and these people that are currently murdering and causing havoc is quite disconcerting. Her eyes slightly narrow, and she says, "You seem very interested in the affairs of the city for people who have just been here.
Well,
What is it that you want, exactly?"
Well, as you are familiar with, now that we've told you the story of some of what we do, we are always interested in helping maintain safety, and this city seems like it is plagued by a great evil, and
That it is.
our group feels bound
Lady Clarissa.
to help put a stop to it.
Lady Clarissa. How
Yes.
capable would you say your adventuring group is?
Well, we did slay a drow demigod trying to bring about some sort of horrific return to the surface, survived an adventure into the Underdark, have confronted enormous odds, toppled a goblin priest king. I don't know. Should I continue? We're quite good at what we do.
As you said, our law enforcement is not quite as capable as it could be, and I may have a job for you at this point. What do you think? What do you think, Alawain? Do you think that they're trustworthy enough? Alawain kind of just sits there with a very very passive look on her face. I mean, she's been quiet most of this conversation, and she says, "They helped my family. They could probably help you with your problem as well." "I agree." Lady Clarissa, bring your entourage up to my room, 346, and we shall discuss this job that I have for you.
Certainly. And she will wink and then take a bite out of her muffin, which she definitely ordered.
Oh, I actually just assumed that there were definitely muffins on the table, since it's us and we're talking breakfast, so
Yeah.
muffins are involved.
She stands. Her and Alawain stand up, and they. Okay. Her eyes kind of widen at the contact, Clarissa, and she just kind of simply sits there and says, 5 minutes. Meet us up there. It was a wonderful chance getting to chat with you. Both of you. Alawain, shall we retire? And she, back to our room, and she says, Alawain says, yes, we shall. And they both stand up and says, excuse themselves and leave out through the restaurant and back up to out of view. The rest of you finish up your breakfast and finish up your time. You eventually make your way back up to your room.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring a muffin with me and just
Yep.
toss it to Ryven as soon as we hop in the room.
Snatch it.
Make your way back up to the room. You make your way back up to the room.
Thank you for not
And-
monk throwing it back at me, because I know you can do that.
You make your way back up to the room. You explain what has happened, and you all eventually make your way up to Weeva Thorn's room. You knock slightly. The door is opened by Alawain, and for many of you, it's the first time seeing this lady. Chestnut brown hair. Once again, very, very, very similar appearance to Brea, but the hair is longer. She holds herself more with a very distinct and regal pose, as though she is almost as though she's more aware of what is happening around her. You enter into the room and you find Weeva Thorn currently sitting in the couch and says, your group is quite a bit bigger than I expected. And she glances over you and looks over towards Salix and Amiro and says, I recognize you two. Taking precautions, that's good of you.
Forgive us, my lady. It never hurts to be too safe.
I
And
agree.
I bow as well.
Oh, no need for that. Oh, no need for that. However, I agree. It is never hurts to be too safe. And your group seems quite capable of protecting and being unseen whenever they need to be. She glances at you, Clarissa, and says, I am most curious to find out how you came to be aware of my position within the city. However, it doesn't
A
change the fact
magician
that
never reveals her tricks.
that doesn't change the fact that you are aware of my position. So, So,
I guess there's no use in pretending we don't know.
Yes, let's
Right.
dispense with the illusions. We know that you are a Masked Lord, and you know what we are here for.
Also, I'm not strictly a bodyguard.
He also serves as my mount from time to time.
That actually rings
There's
fairly close to the truth.
there's a laugh from Weeva, and she's like, I would expect nothing less. All right. So, from what you can tell, and obviously from what you've heard, the Master Lords are meeting today. We are meeting to confer and to decide the fate of the individual known as Salgent, who currently resides within Nightstone Spire. My reservations is that he is not the only butcher within this city. Whether or not he is one in and of itself, that still remains to be seen. However,
What are your suspicions that he is one to begin with?
was
Forgive me,
found-
my name is Karma. I didn't introduce myself.
a tiefling. You keep strange company, Clarissa. However, it's good to meet you, Karma. Our suspicions are that of the Celestial Sanctuaries. He was found within their halls themselves, hiding there. He was found over a body that was placed in a the body of a page who worked there. The Celestial Sanctuary and the Chosen Saints were allowed to were able to confine him and take him to the Spire. With a high-profile case this way, we have been asked to intervene within the affairs of this. I do not believe that he is the sole butcher, and I believe that there is some form of a group that he is working with. And I believe that he is the individual that will help us ferret out these other butchers and these other murderers themselves. We are meeting later today, and I do not trust my security as nearly as much. They are hired, not as proven as you seem to be, and through Olawane's account and through your sister and through your own account yourself, you seem to be quite capable of handling yourselves. I am requiring some protection myself as I proceed towards our meeting. I would like to hire you, as I believe that you will be able to protect me more than anyone else would.
Okay. You should know that the man you hold has friends, powerful friends, outside of the city. He may be not who he appears to be, but not for the reasons that the Celestial Sanctuary suspects.
Well, regardless, he was found over the body with the blood on his hands, and until his statement is given to us ourselves, there will not be. He will be judged as though he is, based on where he was at during the crime.
Pardon me for interrupting. Lady Rial.
Thorn?
Pardon?
Rial?
Thorn or Voxereth?
There's
Are
Thorn or
two.
Voxereth. There's no Rial.
No, I am.
Oh.
I'm introducing myself.
Okay, I missed that part.
I said I am Lady Rial.
Did not hear that.
Lady Thorn. We have suspicion that the person that you are holding is not due to our investigations in the city on another crime scene. We found, what would you say, demonic energies?
Well, I believe Tyrion would use the word fiendish, but yes.
I would use that word because it was the mark of a fiend.
Interesting.
And if
all the more reason that you should accompany me. We are bringing Sergeant in to actually make a statement in front of us, and if he is a fiend or has fiendish energies about him, having somebody there who can detect this would be most welcome.
I'd be more than happy to offer that service.
Wonderful. All right. So, all of you may come. However, we will leave within the hour. So do what you must to prepare yourselves, and then choose two that will accompany me into the inner chambers. The rest of you will be needing to wait outside.
Well, I would imagine you'll want Tyrion with you, as we mentioned.
Decide among yourselves, and meet us in the lobby with the two that are ready to go. Everyone else may follow, and you will be allowed to enter the waiting area, just outside the main chambers themselves.
I think we will agree to this on the condition that you do everything in your power to persuade them not to execute the man they hold until there is decisive proof that he is responsible for the crimes or that he is acting alone.
But of course, we all want what is fair and what is right for our city. Right. Now, I must prepare. We will see you in an hour. you make your way back to your room. And what do you wish to do to prepare before heading down?
Pick two.
Well, we should decide who's going to go inside.
I'm gonna make myself one of those instant cappuccino espressos while we're waiting.
All
I think
right.
we
I need something to eat. Is there anything to eat in the room?
Yeah, it's a full kitchen. Like everything's like stocked.
All right, so I'll
Muffins
grab,
on muffins.
I'll grab
on
a muffin
muffins.
and I'll be like, all right, I'll recommend to go. I'll volunteer myself to go in as well.
Okay.
I would.
Emerald, we probably shouldn't put you in a room with a bunch of powerful people who probably are connected with people who are looking for you.
All right.
Yeah, we probably want people on the inside who can deal with these powerful folks. I would suggest myself, but I mean, as I've already been talking to Weeva Thorn, but she knows that, you all don't really work for me. Do get a sense that she wishes that a small part of her wishes that statement were actually true. And then,
God.
I'm open to whatever the group thinks. I do agree, however, though, and Meryl, probably not a good idea for you to show your face in a room with a group of shadowy, powerful individuals.
And Ryven doesn't really like crowds of people, so.
I mean, I know if Matrim were here, he would definitely go.
No,
Well-
he would not.
All right.
Certainly not with me.
If I could shapeshift, it would be wonderful, but I don't know if there's any magic wards in that place either.
There's
So
no reason to test the bounds of her invitation.
Yeah, let's
She's
just,
shown us nothing but hospitality so far.
Let's just have it be
And it seems perhaps she might be sympathetic to the justice we are attempting to seek.
And I think that if any foul deeds were to be attempted, Tyr and I could handle it
Yep.
as well.
yes,
I'm okay with karma, Tyrion.
as it said, if anything hits south, what's our going to be our word?
How far is
Jenga.
that? Fine.
Jenga?
Jenga. Jenga.
Okay, Jenga.
All right, Jenga. All right. So the hour passes. You eventually make your way down to the lobby, and you find Weeva Thorn and just Weeva Thorn down there. No Alawain downstairs. And Weeva looks at all of you and says, "Wonderful. Let us be off." And she begins walks out the door. The rest of you follow. She walks down. She spends about. You end up spending about a good solid half hour to an hour, just kind of wandering around the city. Occasionally, she'll make very, very quick and sharp turns, turning down an alley that you wouldn't expect, and then turning down another alley. Karma and Ryman, you'd both notice this to be very, very similar ways on how to lose tails and how to make sure nobody is following.
Don't worry. I remember exactly where we're going.
She's constantly
a thing.
She's constantly glancing over her shoulder to make sure that nobody is following the group, and from what she can tell, there is nobody. She eventually leads you to a very small wooden door that's set just kind of set down a specific alleyway, and she says, "All right. We shall enter." And she pushes open the door. Glancing down, you see a very long hallway that just continues and continues and continues. You all enter, closing the door behind you. And as you continue to walk down, you walk and walk and walk. Magical torch sconces are set within the walls themselves, illuminating this area. Eventually, you all come a good solid half hour passes of just walking down this one singular long hallway, and you eventually come to a door, a single door, blood red in color, with a golden handle. Weeva Thorn takes your hand, places it on the handle, holds it there for a second before turning it. And it opens. As it opens, as it opens, you glance around and look about, and you can see that there are different cabinets set within this, set along the walls. Very ornate, very beautiful, and they. Weeva Thorn turns to you and says, "Now, which two will be accompanying me into the room and into our meeting space?"
Myself and Karma.
Interesting. I've never tried this with a tiefling before, so this will be quite interesting to see how this works. Now, in each of these cabinets is a place for you to leave your weapons. You may keep your armor on, but leave your weapons, as the room is magically placed to make sure that no weapons are available to enter unless of utter dire circumstances. At which points guards would be alerted to come and deal with whatever is happening in there. Leave your weapons, and place the cloaks and the masks on your face. That would be the best option for you. She turns and opens up her cabinet, and there is this beautiful purple robe that is set in it. She pulls it out and places it on her shoulders, and pulls the hood up over her head at this point. Both Karma and Tyrion, both of you, glance around and look at the two other separate cabinets as well. And as you open them, you do see the same colored robe currently currently hanging in there, as well as specific masks. Both of your masks are ivory, and they have an etching of what appears to be a scorpion on the forehead portion of them.
Interesting.
What do you guys take off your weapons and just comply with what she's saying?
Yep, I'll take out my.
If it's all the same to you, Lady Thorn, I would prefer to leave my weapons in the care of my companions.
You may do as such, as long as they do not enter the room.
Okay, I'm gonna disarm myself. May I keep my shield?
I would recommend
It is
against
of
it.
great spiritual value to me.
I would recommend against it. If the robes conceal much underneath them, concealing armor and any of our normal garb, but shields might get kind of blocky at this point.
Very well, if I must, and I very, very reluctantly give my shield to Salix.
Okay.
I'll take good care of it for you.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Both of you put on these the purple robes and place.
And I get a little sadness in my eyes as I walk away from the shield.
So
And-
here's a question.
Yes.
If I leave the Belt of Returning on and leave the daggers with them, would they return to me at a later point in time?
You can try.
You could always try. Sorry, that's your line.
Yes,
Yeah, you
I'm
can always try.
all right. So whoever I'm going to go to, I just for flavor's purpose, I'm going to go to Riven and okay, dagger, 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 dagger,
You
dagger,
hand all the daggers to him. Yep.
dagger, short
You hand
sword,
all your weapons.
rapier, hand crossbow, and short bow.
Okay.
Dude, how do you walk?
Very
Like, or
carefully.
move at
Very
all. You're like a
carefully.
walking Iron Throne.
You hand all your weapons to Riven, and you take a few steps away, and nothing appears to return to the belt. The belt still seems to be there, just kind of devoid at this point. You place the robes on. At an indication, you see Weeva pick up her mask, which is a crimson red. You see her pick that up, and at indication she places it over her face, and you both of you draw your hoods and you place your ivory masks over your faces as well. Karma, your mask actually, like, the rest of you see this. The rest of you see as Karma's horns are kind of pointing out. As soon as Karma places his mask on his face, there's a slight shimmer and his horns seem to be disappeared. It's That's funny. Okay, gotcha. Okay. The rest of you, as they place the masks on their faces, and Tyrion and Carmen, it's a very weird sensation for you because you feel the mask kind of congeal and convulse for a second, almost liquid, as it takes form to your specific face. The rest of you see Tyrion slightly shrink a little bit and Karma slightly grow a little bit, till it looks like all three individuals are currently all about the same stature and height. Karma and Tyrion, you don't notice any difference. You don't feel like
I was just gonna ask, does this so
nothing seems out of the ordinary.
I just feel like me, just normal.
You still feel like you, like, apart from the fact that, like, just this mask kind of just congealed and, like, fit itself to your face, and that you don't feel any different. Everything still seems to be moving the way it does.
Very cool.
You look ahead at Weeva, and she says, "Follow me." You don't see her mouth move or anything. You just hear a voice come from the masked individual of Weeva, and she says, "Follow me." And as you're glancing over here, it's very hard to tell that she's a woman, or, like, just by glancing over her, you couldn't tell whether or not she was a woman, whether she was a man, whether she's human, elven. You can't tell any of this just based on the way that she is dressed. And as you look over at Karma, as you look over at Tyrion, same thing. You can't tell what type of person they are.
Now, do we all look the same?
All three of you look very similar, apart from the fact that both you and Karma are, like, you look exactly the same pretty much, apart from the fact that Karma and you are wearing ivory-colored masks, and Weeva is wearing a crimson-red-colored mask.
Okay.
What about my tail?
You flick it around. No, nothing seems to kind of betray that it's there.
Okay.
As you walk through the door, the rest of you, like, catch a very quick glance of another room, like of a very small room, before the door shuts. Karma and Tyrion, as you enter the room, you're in a very, very small room, enough space for all three of you to kind of stand in a line. You feel, as you glance over at the walls, you see two large magical circles that are currently set into the walls, and you see them flash for a second of energy before the energy dissipates. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. Weeva opens up the next door ahead of you, and as you walk in, there is a very beautiful circular room, with which, from what you can tell, you've entered through one of 20 different doors throughout it, that are evenly spaced throughout the room itself. There are 20 slightly curved wooden tables set within a circle around the room itself, with space for 3 people can sit comfortably at each of the tables. You see different individuals, all very similar to what you guys are wearing, currently wearing those different colored robes, or the same purple colored robes, and different colored masks. And you notice that there's always 1 red for every 2 white that are around. You see Weeva walks up to a specific table and says to you, under her breath, "This is where we will be sitting. This is our table. You may mingle and talk with the other individuals if you so compelled, but we will be starting shortly. I must make the rounds and see what the general intent is here."
If you don't mind, I would like to accompany you.
Same.
Very well. She walks around and she talks to a few individuals.
Now, quick question.
Yes.
Are we, like, the Crimson masks, so they all look the same, and then we all look the same, or is there any
Everybody,
differentiation?
there is no differentiation
Okay,
apart from the color.
that's
of
all
the
I wanted
masks.
to know. Thank you.
No differentiation apart from the color of the masks. As you approach the different color, as you approach as you walk around and as you're listening to Weeva kind of just talk, and you hear her talking differently about kind of the goings on in the city, and you hear a few of them say. You hear a few individuals say, "Well, I think he's guilty. I think he's very guilty." And you hear others say, "Well, I'm not fully convinced." And it's hard because you can't tell what the voices are. You can't tell if they're male, female. Like they all seem to be kind of being put through this slightly weird filter. You do notice that upon each mask and each different person that she talks to, most of them do have a different symbol etched into the forehead of them. You begin to notice you notice that there are, I think 19 of them. You see the symbols of bat, you see the symbol of bear, boar, dogs, hawks, cats, crabs. Deer, horses, snakes, elephants, frogs, centipedes, octopus, lamb, spider, wasp, tiger, is what you all notice. And then obviously yours of the scorpion. And you do notice that there are 3 of each. There's always two white
is it 18 or 21?
It's whatever I just said. I listed
19,
them straight up.
which is
So
not
19.
divisible by 3.
Yeah, so. Yes. I think that's right.
So is there an extra person?
I double check one.
Like, is there someone there that doesn't have 2 companions, or?
Also, another question while you're looking it up, Shadow.
There's
is-
20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There are 20 of them, and there are 20 different symbols that you see, but there's 3 of each symbol. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So another question for you, just real quick, matter of etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
Are the people in, like, are the guards talking at all, or is it only the masked lords that are talking?
It seems everyone seems to be talking. Like there doesn't seem to be any like there are people there are white masks that are talking. There are red masks that are talking. There doesn't really seem to be any differentiation.
Just wanted to make sure so that when we actually it's time to talk, if it's okay for me to talk or not.
You're not sure. So there's 20 of them. There's 20 of them, and there's 3 of each, if that makes sense. There's 20 different symbols, 3 of each of them. Okay. Eventually, the mingling comes to an end, and people begin to take their seats. You all find your way back to your table itself, and as soon as the last person has taken their seat, a slab in the middle of the a stone slab in the middle of the room slides open out of the floor, and up out of the middle of the floor comes another individual, also wearing not a crimson mask, but a silver mask, from what you can tell. On the forehead there is a crescent moon, and the individual says, "Welcome, masked lords, for coming and convening at such an inconvenient time. Thank you for coming. We have much to discuss and many things to decide within our short time that we have here today. Issue 1. Astador has raised trade tax by 5% for all ships that wish to pass through their canal. The trade businesses based here are crying outrage and wishing for the city to continue to do something about it. Is there a motion to put a tax for any ship from Astador that is equal to what they are putting on our ships?" There's a bit of murmuring, and there's a few individuals that currently debate between themselves. All those in favor say yay, and you see the red masks, all of them, one from each table, place those who are voting yay place their hands up, and the individual with the crescent moon says, And thank you, all those opposed. And you see a few hands go up as well. This brings us to issue number 2. As many of you know, there have been many horrific events that have been plaguing our city as of late. So we must decide whether or not we should institute a curfew throughout the city until these murders have finished and have been dealt with. Residents must be inside their houses or the places of lodging 1 hour before sunset. Anyone caught outside will be placed into a cell for their own protection until morning. The other issue that we must debate or find upon is whether or not to increase patrols throughout the city and continue raising bridges at the time of the curfew. All of those in favor of all of this say yay. All of those in favor of this say yay. And you see a few hands raise up. Weavas raises up for this as well. All of those opposed, hands go down, and then the opposed hands go up. It says, "Wonderful. We will begin. It looks as though we are tied for the curfew at this point. At this point, I believe that the protection of our city and its residents are most vital. So the curfew will go into effect shortly. This brings us to the most important issue that we have this evening. A half-elven individual known as Saljant was caught within the Celestial Sanctuary itself. Caught over the body of a dead individual with blood on his hands. The chosen saints placed him within the cells of Nightstone Spire and have asked for us to do it, to judge him appropriately and as needed. We shall hear from Saljant before we make our decision. Please bring him in. A door off to the side slightly opens up, and you see as 2 more individuals, these 2 wearing black masks, the same curving or flowing robes, lead an individual in, wearing kind of baggier clothing, black hair from what you can see, and place him in the center of the room next to this silver-masked individual. Saljant, you have been accused of being the Butcher of Plona, of being accused of murder, and causing terror and panic throughout our city. What do you have to say for yourself? The individual laying there stands up to his full height, and you can see now that he does look half elven from what you can tell. Black hair that's kind of disheveled at this point, and looks very dirty. And he looks up to you and says, or looks over all of you and says, a slight smile crosses his lips and says, "If you're looking for those attempting and committing these murders, you've found the wrong person. I'm not your murderer." One of the lords says, "Liar!" You hear that kind of just bark across the hall. How do we know that you are not this Butcher of Plona that we have been searching for? Your murders haven't stopped, have they? They're still continuing. Continuing on. Then who are you working for? You hear Weaver's voice kind of protrude. Who are you working with? Give us their names and we will show mercy to you. Names. You expect me to give names of my brothers and sisters who help us commit these acts. I am not the one committing these murders. However, I do have a message from them. Your streets will soon run with the blood of those that are under your rule. My brethren and myself will claim dominion over your lands, and any who remain. We forgotten long for the thrill of the hunt again, and we will have it. You hear his chains kind of clank as he kind of raises his hands, like in kind of an open position. But rejoice, so-called lords of Plona, for Lord Corfus has decreed that you will be sacrificed for our return. Karma and Tyrion, you see a slight shimmer in the air as his smile begins to widen and grow larger and larger and larger until a large gaping maw of yellow fangs. 2 deadly pincers jut out and rupture from his jaw. His clothes and chains seem to melt in his body, leaving naught but pure black flesh that seems to shine and glint in the torchlight. His arm seems to dislocate and engage so that they resemble long obsidian claws. His head begins to stretch so that the back of his skull seems to elongate and more oval, and his eyes seem to change so that they're more oval with narrow slits, with blood red eyes. Blood red crimson slits sit upon his face. Dark holes seem to kind of pop up around the room. You see, as you glance through the holes, you begin to see other kind of glowing yellow eyes glowing circles from through the actual holes that seem to be pop marking the room. Now, die! I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Oh shit!
Holy fuck.
Everybody, including those of us out.
Everybody rolling initiative, yes.
Oh, come on!
Natural 20.
I think my lucky streak has ended for rolls.
17. I'll put that in chat as well.
Find that. Oh, sorry. Oh.
Gee, what a cloudy day it is today, friends. I wonder what's going on inside.
All right. Ooh, okay, interesting. All right, let's get that battle screen up for you guys.
Oh, buddy.
All right.
Opening planar transport? That's cool.
Yeah, they've got all sorts of fun little loading flavor texts.
All right.
So all these green people are actually in red and purple robes, I assume?
Yep, I had what I had. So.
Yeah, I was just making sure there weren't additional people.
All right, so Tyrion, you are currently sitting here. Karma, you are currently sitting on the opposite side of him at this point. The rest of you currently off in the side room. That's not where I want to place you. Place you over here. Right. So, all right. So what we got? We've got Salix starting us off.
Do we know there's something happening, or we?
Yeah. Do we have any idea there's anything?
You
going
have
on?
no clue that something's happening at this point. So it'll be starting with Tyrion and Karma, probably. But I'm just gonna get everyone set. Karma, followed by Tyrion. Riven after that. Clarissa. Emiral. And
I'm so sorry, Karma.
Salix. Alright, so it's gonna go Salix. And it's gonna go.
I'm the only useful one that was in there. Fuck.
Lords.
Yeah, when we figured out weapons were going to be gone, I was almost like,
Yeah,
Riven?
yeah. You want to go instead? Because you don't need weapons.
Alright. Okay.
Don't worry, I took care of your knives.
So before Tyrion and Karma, you can react. You see all of them kind of stand up. You see the individual wearing the silver mask just immediately, like you just see like the floor just immediately drop out underneath of them, and you just see them just immediately drop in before the stone slab pulls back into place. There's a huge scream and just uproar from everybody else that is currently in the room at this point. This one's gone. You see the different lords begin to start running away and running back through the doors. They luckily got off actually before everyone else did. So they start running through the doors, slamming the doors behind them. Slamming all the doors behind them. This brings us to what did Karma roll? Karma, you rolled a 17.
Karma rolled 17.
All right. So, before any of that happens, the entity currently standing in front of you glances around and looks as everyone is currently running away and leaving through the room. You see just a grin slowly kind of creep across his face. You guys stay where you're at. Weeva actually stands up and looks at both of you and says, "Well, what do we do now? What are we doing now?" Before any of that happens, the entity before you opens up his maw and lets out this unearthly shriek. And I need for Tyrion and Karma, I need for both of you to make. Where are you? I need you to make wisdom saving throws.
Karma, you get a plus. What is it? Oh, is it my charisma modifier? Yes. You get a +3 to that saving throw because you're within 10 feet of me.
17 for me then.
I just want to double check
Okay.
that because I believe that is correct, and I'm already on the page. So, yep. Okay, yep. So then mine would be 19. Woo!
All right. So, as you both are currently standing there, stand up, push your chairs back, and are standing there looking at this horrifying image that is before you. You hear the shriek hit your eardrums, and you feel like you managed to suppress the fear of what just happened in this room. This brings us to Karma. You would be up next.
And also, just a note, Nathan, that bonus is applied for friendly creatures as well.
Gotcha.
On any saving throws with me, it's not just PCs.
How much was it? +3?
It's my charisma modifier, which is +3.
+3. Okay,
to
cool.
any saving throw to anyone that's friendly within 10 feet of me at any time.
Got it.
Forever.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, well, I'm going to go back to this door here,
Okay.
and I'm going to see... I still have my thieves' tools on me, so I'm going to see if there's a lock, and I'm going to try and pick it.
There appears to be no lock. It's literally just a door.
Just a door. Okay, in which case, let's see here. I moved 6 feet to get... Or, that can't be right.
No, it's 6 feet. You're right.
6 feet to get there. Okay, I guess I'm going to go ahead and move up to the dude.
Okay.
Actually, wait, but before I do that, can I see anything else about the door? Can I like roll a perception or investigation on it?
It looks like a door. It has a
Okay.
handle. It is a door.
All right. Well, I'm gonna run up and melee with this guy,
All right.
and then I'm going to use my bonus action to dodge, and then I'm going to use my main action and hold that until.
So you're holding your. So wait, are you holding your action or are you not holding your action?
I'm holding my action.
Okay.
So
So you're prepping a dodge.
Yeah. Well, no. I'm using my cunning action.
You can't hold. No. It's not a hold cunning action until he attacks. That's not a thing. It's you either hold your action, use your action to dodge when he attacks, or you use the cunning action. You can use evasion as a reaction to your thing, but you can't hold your bonus action until it's somebody else's turn.
Here's what I was thinking though: is that so both action and bonus action would fall underneath action then.
No, it's just either action or bonus action. You can't hold both of them.
Yeah, my cunning action as a rogue, I can use dash, dodge, or disengage as a bonus.
Okay, just say that you're holding your action then.
Yes, so I'm holding my action and to attack him, and I'm going to use my bonus action right away to dodge.
He's not attacking you. You can't dodge something that's not attacking you.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Then I'll go up next to him and hold my action to attack him until he's attacking.
There we go. Okay, that we can do. Okay, brings us to Tyrion.
So my trigger is going to be if somebody else is in melee with him.
Okay, brings us to Tyrion. You're up.
Okay. First off, I'm gonna go over and try the handle on the door.
Click. Opens. You pull it open.
And what do I see our group on the other side?
No, you see the small room that has the two arcane sigils in it.
The 2 arcane sigils in it. Okay, I'm going to try to use the earrings to reach out to Clarissa and Salix and let them know that they need to get in here and they need to bring the weapons however they can.
All right, you do hear that, Salix and Clarissa. You hear that immediately. All of you spring. And Muriel, you all spring to action. You all dart.
Jenga, let's go.
You all dart to the door. You slam it open as you open the door, and begin to rush through. You see the arcane sigils flash a specific color, but they don't stop you. All of you manage to rush through. This brings us to Wyvern.
Wait, that's my whole action using the earring?
No. Okay. All right, so
Thank
what do
you.
you want? What else do you want?
I am going to move back because this is and position myself between Riva and that lovely looking creature, and I'm going to use my action to. Wait, hold on. Oh, wrong page. I'm going to use my action to turn the Faithless. I'm going to present my holy symbol, which is my necklace.
Mm-hmm.
If this guy is a Fae or a Fiend, he needs to make a Wisdom saving throw.
All right.
And for reference, my spell save DC is a 15.
All right. He makes the saving throw.
Okay. Then on a failed save, no, he did not fail. Okay, then that doesn't do anything.
Okay.
And that's it. I stand there.
Okay.
Trying to look. I guess I'm still in a mask, so I stand there.
You're still in a mask. Yeah, you and Carmen are still in a mask.
But I'm looking. I'm trying to be menacing behind the mask because that's just where my head's at.
All right. So this brings us to Ryven's turn. You're up, buddy.
All right. So are we inside this room yet?
You have made it into the room. As you do, the door. As you do, I'll say all of you made it here. The door behind you slams shut. And you hear a slight click behind it.
So I'm still carrying all of Karma's weapons, right?
Yep.
All right. I'm dropping everything except for Valerian Legacy and what's the other special dagger that he has? Is it poison or fire or something like that?
It's just a.
I only have regular daggers. Other than
okay.
Yeah.
I am gonna huck Valerian Legacy. Actually, I'm gonna Shadow Step. Is it dark enough for me to Shadow Step?
Yeah. I'd say it's probably dark enough to Shadow Step. You can Shadow Step into. It's a fairly well-lit room, but you could probably Shadow Step into the shadow of the podium that's currently in the middle of it.
So like here.
Yeah, you could probably get about here. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna figure out which one is my hand tool so I can move myself. Can I not move myself anymore?
Should be able to.
There we go. daggers have disadvantage if I'm too close and I'm throwing them?
No,
No? Alright.
as long as you're not within 5 feet of them. So you're
tweak
within,
myself
you're outside
like
of 5
over
feet.
here so that I have range on him and chuck a regular dagger and Valyrian Legacy at him.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
That's just my dex modifier, right?
I believe so, yes. Since you have proficiency with daggers, yeah.
Yeah. And wow, I haven't done this in so long. 14, 15. 6 no, wait, because I'm proficient. 14, 17.
17 hits, yes.
Yay! Alright, that's with Valyrian.
That's
They're the
Okay.
same thing, right?
Yep, that's with Valyrian, yep. Alright.
But the magic wouldn't attune to him, correct?
Right.
No, the magic did not attune to him yet, no.
But it's still a dagger, which is considered a monk weapon, so it's still...
Right, it's still a dagger, so you can still attack with it,
Yeah.
but it has not attuned
Yeah.
with it, yeah. So, alright.
I'm
Damage
interested
roll.
to see how this works out. That's
3
a smart plan.
plus... I forget how to do... I only have the math for my weapons done.
Dex.
Is it damage plus
Plus
where
your-
am I getting my
plus
force
your-
from
You're
my
getting your
dex?
from your dex, yeah.
Okay,
Plus
so
your Dex mod.
7.
Alright, 7 damage for the first one.
That's my dex plus my d6.
Alright,
And then my second one
make your second attack.
is not good.
What is
Actually,
it?
10? I rolled a 3. Plus a 4 plus a 3.
so as Ryven just shadow steps right up to the podium and
wait.
darts.
I have advantage on my first attack.
You already did your first attack with Valyrian Legacy, and it hit.
Yep.
Okay.
As you dart around the podium, you chuck 2 daggers at him. Very, very karma-ish. It's kind of weird. Very different fighting style for you. But you chuck them both at him.
Dagger.
The first one embeds itself into the upper arm of this entity that is currently standing in front of you. It doesn't actually embed itself fully. It's like it just seems like do a little prick into the armor and then clatters to the ground before disappearing in a thing of smoke. Back to Karma, you feel weight at your waist, and the second one just goes far wide and doesn't even bother able to hit him before, and it clatters to the ground, ding ding ding, before back to your belt, Karma.
So can I attack now, or I technically said my whatever was going to be whenever he attacks, or whenever somebody was
You
in
said when
melee
someone
range.
is within melee with him.
Yeah, whenever
no
somebody
one's
was
in
melee.
melee. No
So
one's in melee with him yet.
Yep. All right. So real quick, I wanted to say I looked up the dodge action. When you use the dodge action, you focus entirely on avoiding attacks until the start of your next turn. Any attack roll made against you has disadvantage if you can see the attacker.
Right, that's what you prepped.
No, I prepped that was my bonus action. Again, I
You
prepped-
can't prep a. Oh my god.
Yeah,
You can't prep a bonus. You can't prep and hold a bonus action.
He used
That's
his bonus
not
action
some-
in his turn, which was dodge, and he prepped
Which
it.
no one was attacking him at that point, so you can't. It's not like.
But dodge doesn't go in effect until someone hits him. It just lasts.
Okay.
Exactly.
So you're either focusing entirely on. So you're either holding your action and. So basically, with your turn, you're basically focusing your entire time. Fine, I got it. I'm caught up. What you did was fine. You're great. Whatever.
Well, and
Okay.
I mean, the other thing I was saying too is that with rogues, you can use your bonus action to dodge. You don't need to use that as your action. That's what I was trying to
You prepped
do.
your action in case. We're on the same page. I got it.
Okay.
You prepped your action so that if he attacks, you're attacking him, and if someone is in melee with him, you're attacking him. But you also are using your bonus. You use your bonus action to prep a dodge. I'm on the same page as you.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks. Sorry.
The way you were wording it was making it sound like you were holding your bonus action instead of attacking it. That's how you
No.
worded it. So
Yeah.
I'm caught up to where you were at. We are on the same
Sorry.
page.
Good. Thanks.
This brings us to Clarissa. You are up. Assuming we have a mat.
There we go. Sorry. Phone was locked. Couldn't unmute myself. Okay, so I'm going to run in the room, see the giant thing, and loudly exclaim, "Oh, not again!" And then cast Haste as a twine spell on Ryven and Tyrion, I guess, because he's right there.
How are we doing haste? Are we doing it the right way or the way that we made up?
Yeah, let's just take a quick second and explain to me how I'm hasted. Because I know that there's been... Yeah, there's been some miscommunications in the past. Mistakes have been made.
So, basically, you double your movement speed, your AC goes up by 2, you get advantage on dexterity stuff, and you get an extra action each turn.
Holy hell!
The action has to be used either with an attack, a dash, a disengage, a hide, or use an object action.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I think there's the other thing worth mentioning, because it hasn't come up before, but I was reading this spellbook yesterday and noticed this. If it expires for any reason besides just combat ends, because everyone's dead, then you lose a turn, because you suddenly become exhausted. So, good luck with that.
Yeah.
All right, so Clarissa casts haste. You feel, Riven and Tyrion, you both feel the haste take effect. Feel like a slight rush of adrenaline. You're ready to go. What's going on? All right, is that all you're doing, Clarissa?
Yeah, that's it. She's gonna be too busy staring at the big horrible thing to really worry about moving.
All right. At this point, Weeva Thorn turns around and begins to make her way. Tries to make her way out the door. Finds that it's locked. Currently says, "God, son of a bitch," and kind of hides behind you. Not really hides behind, but like kind of moves behind the rest of your group at this point. This brings us to a mural. You are up.
I am up. Where the hell is my spell? I was expecting the guy to go first. Shit. I probably gonna do what I do best and shapeshift into bear form.
All right.
And I'm gonna go bounding over to Mr. Big Ugly Oaf in the middle there.
All right.
Druid power activate. Form of a bear.
Bear form activate.
That sounded like Trinket. Is Trinket here?
You transform into bear form. Move you over here. Doop. You go bounding towards the giant thing in the middle. You should have control over it, by the way.
Yeah, I do. I need to make my distance here 30 feet. Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna pop up right behind him and gonna claw and bite his ass.
All right. Go for it.
2d20.
Specifically the ass.
Okay, so I have a +5. I have a 19 on my bite and a 17 on my claw.
All right, both hit. Go for it.
Okay. 2d4 and 1d6. That would be +2. That is 7 points of slashing damage.
All right.
And 6 points of piercing damage.
And then is it piercing as well?
Yeah.
All right. So you go and you go and slash and bite. You feel your claws kind of like don't sink in nearly as much as you're expecting to. You feel them. You feel like a slight scrape along the armor. As your teeth sink in, you just kind of feel like once again you feel the armor and it like hurts to like almost have to bite through it, and you manage to push past and get a little bit, but tearing a slight chunk off, but not as much as you're expecting to. This brings us to the top of the round. Salix, you're up.
That would trigger my attack, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes, it would. So, Karma, go ahead and make your
Perfect.
attack.
All right, Verlin Legacy out of the belt, and That is a 10 plus 7, 17. 17.
17 will hit. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Sneak attack?
Yes, because you have someone in melee.
Don't you also get advantage since he hasn't attacked this round?
No, he has attacked.
Still, this is the beginning of me getting lots of dice, which is fun. Okay, 12 and 17 and 22, 25, 25 points of piercing damage and 2 points of fire damage.
Alright. So what's the total?
27. Because on level 7 I get additional 1d6 of damage, which is awesome.
Nice. All right. So as you take Valyrian Legacy out of your belt, you flip it in the air, grab it, slam it in. You have to actually take the second hand and push it past the armor, but you manage to find it. You feel the heat ignite inside. You pull the dagger out. Slight little fire come out as you pull the dagger out. Second is that it, or did you have a second one?
Nope, I used my bonus action to dodge,
Right,
so I don't have my bonus attack.
All right. So this brings us now to top of the round. Salix, you're up.
So, on this map, does 12 feet equate to 6 squares or 30 feet?
I believe so.
Okay. So I'm going to scoot up here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Bless on Tyrion, Emerald, and Riven.
Okay.
So that means for the duration of my concentration, you each get 1d4 added to your attack rolls and saving throws.
Nice.
Nicely done.
Also,
Breaking up some D4s.
yeah, and then also as my bonus action, I will summon Blinky with Spiritual
right.
Weapon.
Yay, Blinky! Okay, I have so many freaking bonuses happening right now. I am
all the
blessed.
Buff all the things. Much buff, much love.
Hashtag blessed haste.
So many buffs going on right now. All right.
I'm going to summon Blinky. I guess you could just give me control of him.
Yeah, I just did.
Oh, there it is. He's gonna appear right there.
Okay.
Is this guy occupying more than one square?
Yes.
Okay.
You big bastard.
Alright.
That is a 18.
To hit? Yep. 18 will hit.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, 21.
It's a very
Let's-
cool map, by the way, Shadow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
1d8 plus wisdom.
10 points of force damage.
Force damage. Nice. Nice. All right.
That concludes my turn.
Nice. So as you see, oops, shit. All right. So as you see, Salix conjure, focus on his holy symbol. A slight bright light appears before you, and this large spiritual mace appears and goes whap and slams right over the individual's entity. It slams onto his arm. He kind of has to raise his hand, swat it away, but everything seems to be okay. All right. This brings us to its turn. All right. I need 4. So, before he does anything, he lets out this once again this black entity. You hear him let out a large giant sound as kind of like screeching sound as he does out of the holes that are around the room. You see a few entities begin to claw their way out of them.
Awesome.
You see them begin to claw their way out of them. I then need 4. I need 4. Okay, I need for. I think it's everybody actually. Yeah, I need for everyone to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay, Salix and Clarissa, I believe you're the one back there. Yes. Salix and Clarissa, you get +3 to that saving throw. Now, Salix Bless gives me +4 to the saving throw.
1d4.
Oh, it's 1d4. Okay, we got a d4 here.
Hey,
And-
Nathan, is this magical?
No, it is not.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Shadow.
So that's gonna be a
I
lot.
got a 4 total.
Okay.
So I'll be right back after that.
Great.
And Clarissa, the haste is only bonus to
It's
dex
dex.
saves, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Then it's just. Oh, of course, I roll a 1 on the 1d4. Thank God. So 3
Oh,
is
this
13 and
is-
3 and
This is absurd.
13 and 3 and 1 is 6. Is this
So I
a wisdom
gotta-
saving throw? You said, Shadow.
Wisdom, yes, wisdom saving.
Oh, then awesome. So 13 and 3 is 19 and 20, unnaturally.
All right, so Salix. Wait.
It was. I get +3 to that.
You get +3 to that straight up just
That's
from
actually
being near
a-
me because it's really awesome. I'm a awesome elf to be around.
Yep. So Riven on 20. All right, so Salix and Karma, both of you. So all of you, as this screech penetrates your ears, you all of you feel like a slight surge of fear. It's bone chilling, this sound. You all of you except for Salix and Karma managed to suppress that fear, but Salix and Karma, this wave of fear emanates over you. You are both of you are considered frightened at this point.
Does anyone know what page the frightened condition is on?
You cannot move closer to the target.
You cannot
That's
willingly move closer. It's on page.
And disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls when in line of sight of the source.
It's gonna be on. It's gonna be on page 291, I believe.
290.
290. Yep. You have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of the fear is within one sight, and you cannot willingly move closer to the source of it. All right. So that takes care of that. Then he's going to make an attack against. He's going to make an attack against Karma, and an attack against. Making attacks against Karma, attack against Mural.
Disadvantage on this guy.
What was that?
Dodging
No.
like crazy. Disadvantage.
Serpentine. Serpentine Karma!
Exactly.
Oh, so I roll with disadvantage then? Is that right?
Yep.
Alright. So I roll
That
4
probably
on this.
doesn't.
So alright, so 4 for that one, and then so Karma, as you feel as this wave of fear comes over you, you see just out of the corner of your eye one of his black claws begin sweeping up towards you. You manage to just dodge out of the way just as it comes within a hair's breadth of your face.
Dipping and dodging. Dipping and dodging.
As it just comes within a hair's breadth of your face. The second claw comes down, striking down at you, and Mural. That's going to be a what did it get?
If it's higher than the 12, it hits.
It hits. It's a 20-something rather.
Oh God.
So he slams you for a grand total of 14 points of slashing damage as the claw comes raking across the upper part of your body. And then he is also going to make a pincer attack against Karma. Rolls a 7. Rolls a 15.
17 AC.
All right. So as the claws finish up, you see one claw, you see the other claw go raking across Murley, and then you all of a sudden see his attention come whip back to you, and his pincers come snapping at you. You manage to once again also kind of just dodge out of the way, just as the pincers slam right above the top of your head.
That's only due to the new armor, by the way. My previous armor would have hit.
All right.
So new armor, amazing.
This brings us to the Fearling's turn. Assuming I can start choosing shit. There we go. Nice. Might have a puzzle on the right token. There we go. All right. This one is going to move and attack. This one is going to move. And Clarissa, behind you, you hear a type sound as it begins moving. As that one begins moving there, this one's going to move 5, 10. And going to leap up on the desk here and swing at Tyrion. And this one's going to move in the direction of Ryven. There. All right. And all three of them are going to swing against all of you. All right.
I'm gonna use my reaction to cast shield.
Go for it. Okay, so Clarissa, as it does, you hear this like as you just out of the corner of your eye see